One thing I forgot to talk about in my last video was the phone gesture area. So one of the challenges that I had with converting the app to the touchpad is, of course, you have no gesture area. Just like I had the challenge with the in-app universal search with the keyboard, um, I didn't have a gesture area to perform certain functions. And of course, the most commonly used function of the gesture area is going back a screen. So I'm several layers deep into the app and I want to go back a screen. Well, I don't have a gesture area. So what did I do? I added a back button or a back tap area at the top of every screen. So if you tap anywhere around here, it's going to go back a screen. And of course, just like with the phone app, let me go back in a little deep. If I want to go back all the way to the main menu, I just have to swipe from right to left at the top and right to the back. So I don't have to keep tapping, tapping, tapping. I can do that as well. And if I swipe from left to right on any screen, I'll go right to the now playing screen and back to the main menu. So I can do that from anywhere within the app. And of course, oops, I don't know what I just did. Okay, hold on. Look. Anyways, of course, I can tap the back button and go back a screen. So that's one part of the gesture area. The other part that I used was when you swiped from left to right in the gesture area below the screen. What would happen is on any screen you'd get a little mini controls for your music. So if I'm, browsing albums, and I want to control my music, of course I could go back to the now playing screen. But if I'm busy looking at something and I don't want to go back, and I just want to be able to pause my music or switch tracks or do something, or even scrub through my music, what I used to be able to do is swipe from left to right in the gesture area and do that. Well, now I don't have a gesture area, so what do? I just tap up here and I get my controls. I can pause and play my music. I can switch tracks just by swiping or tapping the buttons. I can scrub through my music. I can even load whatever album I'm listening to right there, or I can tap and hold and it'll load the albums of whatever song or whatever artist that is. I can swipe up and get rid of it, or I can tap up here and get rid of it. So that's a nice way that I've done to be able to access your music, and it was a nice alternative to be able to use the gesture area. And I think it's really easy to use. Actually, you just tap up here, and you're done. Another thing that I think I forgot to mention, I might have mentioned it actually. Actually, I did mention it, so I'll skip that. I was going to show you the pop up here, which is kind of similar. Um, One thing I didn't mention in my last video, which really has nothing to do with the touchpad, but I figured I'd talk about it, is the cool notification area. So if you just go ahead and minimize, you can completely get rid of the card, but the music is still playing. It's in the background and it's running right here. And you have a multi-tier notification area. And this is the same thing as on the phone. You can scrub through your music by tapping in here. You can go back to the app by tapping here. You can change your song right here. You can pause and play, and you can even preview what's going on in your playlist without switching tracks. And you can queue up this song to play next, right there. And so you can do that, and it's available to you from within any app you're using, and it's right there anytime you want. And if you want to go back to the app, just go ahead and do that. You can also, without even minimizing it, you can keep the card open and still have that available as well. But if you want to view your beautiful wallpaper and and not have the card there, that's a nice way of doing it. So that's another cool feature I can show you. Since I'm talking about cool features, let me show you one more. Flylists. Wow, that's a weird name. So flylists are basically playlists, but they're dynamic playlists. They're playlists that you can edit. And unlike other playlists that you may have seen in other apps, like the stock music app that comes on the touchpad, which does have actual editable playlists, you don't just add songs to a playlist. You can add anything you want to a playlist or to a fly list. You can add artists to a fly list. So I can do add to fly list. I can choose this one, and there it is. I can add a complete artist. I could do an album. I could do a synced playlist. I could do a genre of music, and all of them are going to show up here. And I can actually, let me do in-app universal search. do an album. Okay. And I can actually move these around, of course. I can actually, let me show you these buttons down here. Now I'm just giving you a whole preview of the whole app. So you could shuffle your playlist. You could play them in order, or you can resume where you last left off. So there's a lot of cool bookmarking features in every single fly list that you listen to, and every single synced playlist also. It's going to remember automatically where you last left off, and then when you hit this, it's going to resume exactly at the point, exactly at the song that you left off, and the exact time frame. And of course, the app. Oh, oops, I brought up the MIDI controls. And of course, the app has that built in as well. So if I, for instance, load the app, I can resume where I last left off. But each fly list has its own auto bookmark. But anyways, I could just go on and on and on because there's tons of features, and I'm rambling right now. So anyways, I just want to show you a few of the other things that I forgot to mention in my last video related to the touchpad. So again, thanks for watching this one, and look out for Music Player Remix coming soon, maybe in another week or two.